Boker Tov, good morning. It's wonderful to be here with you together this morning, trying to undo the hat head that was created and clearing some beautiful snow this morning. And I hope that each of you is doing well and feeling well today. As we start a new day, please do share a greeting. If you're with us on Zoom, please like or subscribe if you're on YouTube so that you and others can find us. Good morning, Annette. And good morning, Sandra, and to Fern and Lance as well. To each of you, to all of you, it's so wonderful to be here together this morning and to have the chance to start the day this way. Good morning, Sulang and Seymour, and to all Boker Tov. Welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai. Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. Good morning, Anne and Eleanor and Gloria, and each and every one of you as we come together to begin the morning in a grounded way, in a grateful way, in a hopeful way, in a value-laden way, looking at ourselves and our world through the demanding lens, the moral, the spiritual lens of our tradition. And so let's begin this morning reciting the prayer for awakening, the prayer for when our bodies do that which we need them to do, this moment-to-moment miracle that we experience. Please join me in Hebrew and English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhmah uborah bo nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim galui v'yadua lifnei chisech vodecha sheim yipatech echad mehem o yisatem echad mehem אי-אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני, רופא כל בשר umafli lasot. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. And it is to that spirit within that we now turn, that we cannot see, but that we can feel, because it is with our spirit that we sense beauty and meaning and depth to our world. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And we continue with words of learning, lasok b'divrei Torah, to invest in our combined minds and hearts, because it takes both to learn Torah. It is not an intellectual exercise, but something that involves chol levavecha, all your heart, v'chol nafshecha, and all your soul, v'chol meodecha, and all which that makes you and me human. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Va'arev na Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Toratcha b'finu v'fi amcha bet Yisrael v'niyeh anachnu v'tze'etzaenu v'tze'etzae amcha bet Yisrael kulanu yodei shemecha v'lomdei Toratecha lishma. Baruch atah Adonai Hamlamed Torah leyamo Yisrael. Elu dvorim shein lahem shi'ur. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud av va'em, to honor fathers and mothers. Ugmilut chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Vashkamat bet midrash shacharit v'yarovit, to attend the house of study morning and evening. V'achnasat ochim, to welcome the stranger. Ubikur cholim, to visit the sick. V'achnasat kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Udvayat hamet, to keep faith with the dead. V'yun tefillah, to pray with sincerity. V'hava'at shalom ben adam l'chavero, to make peace when there is strife. v'talmud Torah keneged kulam. And the study of Torah is equal to them all. Let's continue today just with a sense of gratitude, joining in Baruch She'amar in Hebrew and English and Psalm 100, our prayer to express thanks. Baruch She'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who speaks that we might listen. Blessed is the one who acts that we might be witnesses. Baruch hu u'baruch shemo. Blessed is the one who decides that we might accept. Blessed is the one who has mercy that we might live. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who removes the darkness that we might see. Blessed is the one who lives forever that we might believe. Blessed is the one who saves and delivers that we might be redeemed. And in that spirit, we continue with Mizmor LeTodah, a psalm to say thank you. Let all the earth sing to the eternal, find joy in service of the sacred. May every word lead one to encounter the divine presence. May we sense the Holy One within us and in all creation, discover sacred purpose in every moment. The eternal is our infinitely capable creator. God forms our purpose and potential. Enter the gates with gratitude. Bring praise and thanks and bless the divine name. The divine love of the eternal allows us to find good in everything and strengthens the faith of each generation. And with a fresh sense, I hope, of gratitude, thankfulness, we continue with the words of Shema Yisrael, which call on each of us as Yisrael, those who wrestle with God and remain and prevail, those who look yashar, straight at the challenges of our world and acknowledge their difficulties and also the sacred responsibility we have to live a moral life and a committed life. All of that is represented by these ancient words. Let's join together in reciting them. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha. V'ayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'vetecha uvelechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha. Ukshautam laot al yadecha, vayu letotafot ben enecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot betecha, uvisharecha. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael ve'amelta aleim, ve'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei v'gdeim ledorotam, ve'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf patil techelet, v'haya lachem letzitzit, uritem oto, uzchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, va'asitem otam, ve'lo taturu acharei levavchem, ve'acharei enechem, asher etem zonim achareihem, lema'an tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, ve'item kedoshim leloechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, Liot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. Well, our world is such a complicated place at all times, and certainly in recent times as well. As we look around and the power of hate continues to assert itself. It's amazing to see how poisonous the effect on the world is. During this week, when a number of more hostages are released after about 500 days, the children of the Bibas family and their mother and their father, but their mother in particular, remain in captivity, no notice of their release, even though they are named among those who could be released in this first round. But how could they be held for 5 days, let alone 500 days? And the spewing of hate against Jews and against Israelis is what is responsible for a world that could ignore their plight, that isn't able to say the conflict between Jews or Israelis, different groups, and Palestinians is in its historical reality complex because of the emotional and historical connections of both people to the land. And no interpretation of it can justify the terrorizing and brutalizing of children for any time, let alone hundreds of days, as if it is an acceptable kind of political or military behavior, which unquestionably it is not. And I can only understand that the world has not stood up because so much hatred and falsehood has been spewed about our people and about the nation, democratic nation state of the Jewish people, that the world allows itself to forget. And so let us, before we continue today, let us join in our prayer against hatred. It was offered regularly by Rabbi Eliezer, who lived in the 2nd century. So these are words that are thousands of years old, recorded in the Talmud of the land of Jerusalem, which is about 1,500 years old. And so let's join in these words in Hebrew and English as a challenge to ourselves and to what we must demand from all those who would share society with us. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהי ואלוהי אבותיי ואמותיי, שלא תעלה שנאתנו על לב אדם, ולא שנאת אדם תעלה על ליבנו, ותהא תורתך מלאכתנו כל ימי חיינו, ויהיו דברינו תחנונים לפניך. Eternal my God, God of my fathers and mothers, may it be your will that the hatred of our people not touch a single heart, and that no hatred be found in ours. May times of Torah fill our lives, and may our words of prayer in your presence be heartfelt. This is not a time merely to come together. It is a time really to express the deeper wishes and prayers of our hearts. And the prayer for the soldiers of the IDF, a prayer for safety, a prayer for strength, a prayer for peace, all of which our world desperately needs, can't be just other words we recite. And so to all those who risk their lives each day to wear the uniform, to stand for a better future, even in the pain and loss and violence of today. For each of them and for all of them and for their families, we turn to these words of prayer. מי שבירך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא, ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה, וישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם, ויקוים בהם הכתוב, וכיתתו חרבותיהם לעתים, וחניתותיהם למזמרות, לא יישאו גוי אל גוי חרב, ולא ימדון עוד מלחמה, וישבו איש תחת גפנו, ותחת תאנתו, ואין מחריד ונאמר, Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who stand on guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree, with none to make them afraid, and together we say, Amen. We turn to our prayer for those in need of strength and healing, those in our family and our circle of friends, those in our community, Sybil and Eden and Stephen and Gary, and so many that each moment are struggling to overcome or to deal with acute or chronic illness, or to make the most of the later parts of the lives we are given. For each of us and for all of us, we need to recite these words with intention. To do so, saying that if we are in a case of difficulty, we will accept help. And then if we are in a position of relative ability, that we will do what we can in simple ways and in committed ways to care for and to help strengthen and allow for healing and bring healing to others. And so for all those names given to me and those names given to Temple, for those names placed in the chat and this and other services, and because we know a type of affliction is isolation, not just the isolation that naturally occurs, which it does with age or infirmity, but the kind of forced isolation forced by criminal terrorists on captives in Gaza and elsewhere. For each of them, for all of them, we will continue to come for you, to pray for you, to demand that the world wake up from its moral stupor and do what is right. And so together, for all of us, we turn to these words of refuah. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו, להחלימם ולרפאותם, וישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה, ועטרת שלום, ונאמר Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and let us say together, Amen. Well, it's very meaningful each day to be here to connect and to reflect with each of you and with all of you. And so we also take this time now to remember, to recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. During the last 30 days, we extend our condolences to the families of Barbara Freeman, Victor Marks, Jake Hussman, David Silverman, Roxanne Reisman, Sheila Arbusman, Howard Kadekel, Myrna Zeidenberg. And we remember all victims of war and terror, including the following IDF personnel whose lives have been lost in the last 30 days. Alexander Fedorenko, Eliav Astukel, Nevo Fisher, Uriel Peretz, Yahav Mayan, Evyatar Ben Yehuda, Ido Samiach, Elad Yaakov, Yuval Shoam, Yoav Fefer, Yahav Hadar, Oron Shaul, Matatiyahu Yaakov Perel, Kenev Kasa, Guy Carmiel, Daniela Diakov, Aviel Weissman, Hod Schriebman, Dvir Zion Revach, Amit Levi, Yair Yaakov Shushani, Eitan Yisrael Shiknazi, and the following individuals whose lives have been taken in acts of terror in these same 30 days. Eliza Rice, Hamza Ziadne, Ludmila Lipovsky, Rachel Cohen, Tamar Edri, Yusuf Ziadne. And on yahrzeit, on the anniversary of their deaths that fall today, on this 29th day of Tevet, the last day of the month of Tevet, the last day for some time that our two calendars will line up, the 29th of Tevet and the 29th of January, tomorrow being the 1st of Shvat. We honor the following on the anniversary of their deaths on yahrzeit. We remember Toby Ackler, Harry Brown, Vera Giorco, Enid Holtzman, Miriam Lieberbaum, Izzy Pratzer, Hi Schwartz, Pearl Shapiro, Ben Springer, J. Jacob Switzer, Ruth Tractor, Nathan Wasserman. Zichronam Levracha, may their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope, joining together in the Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemeh rabah, be'alma tivarach cheruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'b'chaye dechol bet Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kari v'imur, Amen. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו. לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא ואמור אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, Amen. Well, Boker Tov, Boker O, I hope today can be a beautiful day for each of you, and that each of the days ahead holds goodness and blessing and freedom and health and return to life for the hostages. Boker O, Boker Tov, make it a good one.